Journalism matters, particularly in times of crisis. The Eurozone debt crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic, or extreme weather and natural disasters brought about by climate change, crises seem to have become the hallmark of the present era. And it is in times of crisis that we as societies notice the importance of independent journalism. Reporting the facts, debunking misinformation, journalists from all over the world have proven their indispensable value for our democracies in recent months. Yet, at the same time, it is also in times of crisis that we notice the structural problems of media and journalism. The precarious economic situation of many media houses which are struggling to find business models. The challenges of fake news, of conspiracy theories, and of polarization in public discourse that is accelerated and exacerbated by social media platforms whose algorithms are optimized not for public value but for making profit. Attacks by governments that exploit crises to suppress the media and freedom of opinion. And last but not least, the crucial, ethical and very practical question of how to report on crises in the first place. It is these questions that we will be working on in our M100 Young European Journalists Workshop this year.
Hey, my name is Urte and I am from Vilnius, Lithuania. I'm truly looking forward into this event since the main theme is crisis communication, and as a beginner journalist myself, I find it hard to report on crisis without being too scary, trying to be accurate, and bringing more peace than chaos after my reports.
Hello, my name is Andrea Tanasia and I'm a student at the University of Amsterdam. What convinced me to join the M100 workshop took the form of a question. How can journalism deliver honest answers to the ongoing crisis that we as a society are going through?
Journalism will only survive in the end if it makes itself indispensable from the perspective of the consumers. Be aware that you are pioneers in a way. Just be sure that whatever you are doing in journalism, it is going to be so crucial for the future of your societies.
What can be done to enable and to empower every working journalist in any country to competently include the climate aspects of every story they are working on anyway? I see this crisis also as an enormous opportunity for journalism to prove its value, to re-energize itself, to reskill, and also to earn back trust and relevance where that has been lost in recent years.
What do you think the journalists, any of us, could do to enhance this his work?
So I would say start with educating yourself, and from there, I think you will start seeing also the climate dimension in your story that you may not have noticed before.
How do I decide what point of view is more powerful, which one is correct? Sometimes when you report, there are so many perspectives and people that are reading, they just lose trust.
And so you need experts who are able, and you need scientists in the newsroom, you need engineers in the newsroom, because so much is about material science, who are able to weigh and in the end make their judgment call or just present the different options.
We're not activists, we are journalists, and we only know one activism, and that is activism for good journalism. Journalism is in the best of all times, except for the business model.
Even if we've gone through all these problems, there is still hope and motivation behind journalists that really have a passion to do it. So he really inspired me in this optimistic way.
If you try to find out why do people go for vaccination or not go for vaccination, why do people vote for candidate A and candidate B, maybe this is as well influenced by what the people see when they watch the evening news.
No matter what crisis are we covering, there are always certain principles that we as journalists should follow. that we should always have doubts about the information we receive and that we should always make deeper researches.
So how do we get out of all of these problems? What can we do? And I put 5 ingredients together for you where I think this is something that journalists should try to do in their news desks to create a better information ecosystem. Social media works it's like yellow press. It's really like the attention economy. It's really close to the yellow press if you compare it. That's important, for instance, that people understand the worth or the value of journalism, and that we can't say, okay, we all go to social media and that's it, and this is our new information system. We are really dependent on this journalistic idea in a democracy.
You said that there was a nice idea that constructive journalism is not something additional. You can put it on everything, have a perspective. Are there any situations where constructive journalism does not fit in?
I wouldn't say that we get rid of breaking news, of course not, but not for every breaking news we need to add a constructive side to this. But if the breaking news transforms into where you can write a longer piece, then add it. Also, your journalism has to fact check things. For the democratic parties, it doesn't play the role before, but if a populist party is saying something that is definitely not right, it's the role of journalism to fact check it as well and to explain why it's not right. Our daily news agenda cannot be about all the things that are not right, because then we are forgetting what's really important for society. If a country is full of populism, populism is a scale how good a democracy is dealing with their problems. Get out of the bubble if you report about politics and get to the people and find out what are their problems.
A newspaper is a product, but also a website is a product, and an app is a product. Product thinking is something that I always kind of talk about with other journalists. And I'm like, this is really, really important for you to consider. You need to think of the news as a product. Journalists must start thinking like entrepreneurs.
Thank you for this workshop. I think that's the main thing that I've taken from here is the experience of international communication.
The wow moment was how media tend not to represent the people sometimes, and there is this lack of news representations in the media.
We had the opportunity to exchange opinions and experiences over the past few weeks. The organizers of the event, as well as the speakers we had, pointed out some of the biggest challenges the journalism faces today. And I think that all this really helped us to improve our knowledge in the field of journalism.
The whole workshop was my aha moment, because now I have another perspective on everything, a new, a fresh one, and a more well-informed one. And besides you, the organizers, the participants were great, and the speakers were amazing, to be honest. What impressed me the most was that even if we were from different countries, our thoughts are the same, our impressions are often the same, and we are stronger together.